The boy accidentally fell off his bike. In anger, he picked up a stone and smashed the glass behind him. Just as he was about to leave, a naked man walked out. The man grabbed the boy aggressively. With overwhelming strength, he dragged him all the way into the house. Thomas's mind went completely blank. He could not understand why someone was living in this abandoned house. Just as the man was about to beat him, a patrol car noticed something unusual. Seeing this, the man let go of Thomas. But in the next second, he pulled out a detonator from his pocket. Then he casually tossed it out. He walked away right under the police officers' noses. Thomas seized the chance to run out of the house. He immediately left this dangerous place. At that moment, he had no idea. His fate was about to be completely changed by that man. After returning to school, he saw the man who had followed him. Terrified, he tried to escape, but he was stopped by the school bully who always picked on him. The bully relied on his size and constantly treated him like a toy. Even though Thomas felt wronged, he never brought his emotions home. Whenever his grandmother asked, he would just smile it off. He made excuses, saying it was just playful fighting, but this did nothing to stop the bullying. One day after school, he was blocked again on his way home. Even though he pedaled as hard as he could not outrun a car. In the end, the bully knocked him down with a car door. Just as he was about to be beaten again, a girl suddenly appeared. Even though she was no match for the bully, she stood firmly in front of Thomas. Not wanting to cause more trouble, the bully left. Afterward, Annie drove him home. As for why she helped him, she simply could not tolerate bullying. Thomas got out of the car and thanked her. But when he looked up, he saw that strange man again. It was obvious the man had been following him. He rushed into the house in panic. Carefully, he peeked outside through the curtain. But suddenly, a stranger's voice came from behind him. When he turned around, the man was already inside the house. Without hesitation, he walked into the laundry room. He quickly took off his clothes and threw them in. Thomas tried to stop him, but the man pinned him against the wall. Thomas was too scared to move. At the same time, he learned the man's name was Hayes. Not long after, his father came home. Seeing the stranger on the couch, he was confused. He turned to ask his son. Hayes calmly said that he was Thomas's friend. Thinking about the earlier threat, Thomas went along with it. Just like that, Hayes moved into their home. To Thomas's surprise, Hayes got along very well with his grandmother. He even made her laugh. Since his mother passed away, this was the first time laughter returned to the house. But this made Thomas even more confused. Who exactly was he? Why was he doing this? What was his purpose? While he was thinking deeply, he unexpectedly saw Hayes at school. He quickly chased after him. Just as he was about to greet him, he was stopped by the bully again. The bully shoved him hard into the restroom. Thomas refused to back down. He got up and pushed the bully. But how could the thin Thomas match him? The bully shoved his head into a urinal. He forced him to lick the dirty liquid on the ground. Just as his tongue was about to touch the floor, the restroom door suddenly opened. Everything fell silent instantly. Just when Thomas thought he was saved, Hayes coldly turned and walked away. As expected, Thomas was forced to swallow something filthy. After returning home, he felt extremely frustrated. Why should Hayes eat and live in his house, and yet do nothing when he was in trouble? He angrily yelled at Hayes to get out, but Hayes grabbed him by the throat. Seeing Thomas refuse to give in, Hayes slowly loosened his grip. He told Thomas to wait in the car. He would come after getting dressed. The scene shifted. Hayes had already driven to the bully's house. He took out a can of gasoline from the trunk. The once brave Thomas immediately panicked. He kept saying they should not seek revenge, but Hayes ignored him. He walked to a car and poured gasoline all over it. Then, under Thomas's shocked gaze, he set it on fire. This terrified Thomas. He urged Hayes to leave immediately, but when he tried to get into the car, he found the door locked. Before he could react, Hayes abandoned him and drove away. Hearing the bully shouting behind him, Thomas ran as fast as he could. After running 2 blocks, he saw Hayes waiting by the roadside. Hayes walked up to him with a smile. He showed no guilt for what he had done. Thomas did not hold back. He kicked Hayes hard in the groin. Hayes bent over in pain. But instead of getting angry, he laughed and got back into the car. The next morning, the police came to Thomas's house. Although they had no solid evidence, they still took his fingerprints and photos. As expected, he was scolded by his father. Full of frustration, he vented his anger on Hayes. This time, Hayes dropped his usual attitude. He sincerely apologized. Then he offered to take Thomas to his secret base. On the way, they witnessed a car accident. The driver responsible was Annie. After hearing about their connection, Hayes immediately stepped out to handle the situation. Realizing the other party did not want to resolve things peacefully, he took off his shirt, revealing fierce tattoos. The old man's expression changed drastically. He quickly drove away. Annie looked completely confused. Before she could understand what was happening, Hayes drove up beside her again. He opened the passenger door, then bluntly said, "This boy asked me to help you. Just like that, the three of them headed to Heisei's secret base together. But when he drove into a luxurious mansion and started banging on the door wildly, they both realized something was wrong. After confirming the homeowner was not home, Hischer opened the iron gate and swaggered into the backyard. The two of them stepped forward to question what he was doing, but he shoved them into the pool without hesitation. He got on a bike and rode straight into the 10-foot deep pool. Even though he choked on water and lost his balance, he still struggled to climb back onto the edge. Then he lifted another bike and hurled it into the pool. The scene stunned the two people in the distance. They watched in disbelief as Hischer grabbed a table and crashed in with it. This reckless behavior scared them so much they did not dare stay, and they quickly climbed out one after another. Hischer ignored them completely, and just kept tossing all kinds of items into the pool. As he threw things, he kept shouting harsh and offensive words. After all the good stuff had been thrown in, he turned his attention to a lighter. He poured gasoline onto the diving board, then lit it and stood on it. The reason he did all this was simply because he felt like it. After tossing in the last chair, Hischer left, saying he had a doctor's appointment. The two people were left standing there in shock, and then they also left one after another. Although it was only their second time meeting, they had a great conversation. This was also the first time Thomas spoke with a girl since his mother passed away. Lacking a mother's love, he could not help but feel a stir in his heart. After returning home, Thomas was scolded by his father. It turned out he skipped school without saying a word, and his father had waited at the school gate for a full hour. Thomas did not dare to respond, and could only react with silent resentment. At that moment, Hischer started causing trouble again. He stuck his finger into Thomas's food, making him blurt out a curse instinctively. This only brought even harsher discipline from his father. Thomas was clearly upset since Hischer had started it. In the end, the two argued fiercely and parted on bad terms. Hearing the noise, his grandmother came into the dining room. Seeing the mess everywhere, she covered her face in pain. Ever since Thomas's mother passed away, the family had fallen apart, and she could do nothing about it. Hearing her self-blaming words, Hischer stopped smiling. He wanted to comfort the old woman, but did not know how to begin, and could only watch her walk past him. Then he went into the room, told her stories and jokes to cheer her up, and promised her a small wish. That was to take a walk with her the next morning. But what she did not know was that from the moment the lights went out, her life was nearing its end. The next morning, Thomas quietly took his father's bank card while he was still asleep. He withdrew $1,800 from an ATM, then went to a car dealer to try to redeem a red car. It was his mother's favorite thing when she was alive. Since his defeated father could not be relied on, he wanted to hold on to something connected to his mother. But the owner told him the car was no longer there. No matter how much he begged, the owner refused to say where it went. At that moment, the owner's son walked over. It turned out to be the same bully who had been tormenting him. Thomas ignored his provocation and quietly rode his bike back home. But as soon as he entered the house, he saw his father crying on the couch. It turned out that when Hischer tried to take Grandma out for a walk, he found that she had passed away. This sudden blow left all three of them unable to accept it. They sat on the couch in silence. Finally, Hischer could not hold it in anymore, flipped over the table, and stormed out. Thomas stared at the cash in his hand, lost in thought. Since he could not get back his mother's favorite item, he decided to give the money to Annie instead. But when he arrived at Annie's house, he saw Hischer being intimate with her. This completely triggered him. For Thomas, his feelings toward Annie were more like those for a mother figure, because she had protected him and given him warmth after he lost his mother. So when his friend became involved with her, all he felt was anger. He picked up a metal rod and smashed Hischer's car repeatedly. When Hischer came out to stop him, he swung even harder, shouting every curse he had ever learned. Then he stormed back home. His grandmother's death and his friend's betrayal made him completely lose control. While smashing Hischer's belongings, he accidentally noticed a pair of garden shears on the ground. Maybe it was time to get his mother's belongings back. He took the shears and quietly went to the bully's house, then clamped them onto the boy's toes, forcing him to reveal the car's location. The bully begged for mercy and said the car had been sent to a scrapyard. After getting the information, Thomas slowly loosened his grip, but the bully seized the chance and tackled him to the ground. Just as Thomas was about to be beaten again, Hischer suddenly appeared, smashed the glass, picked up the shears, and quickly cut a piece of flesh from the bully's nose. This shocked Thomas and made him shout angrily. After that, he went to the scrapyard and found the car among piles of junk. He eagerly climbed inside, feeling the lingering presence of his mother. Then he fell into a deep sleep. He dreamed of moments with his mother. Back then, his father was full of energy, completely different from now. His mother was gentle and kind, and to outsiders, they looked like a happy family of three. Until a truck suddenly appeared and shattered the dream. Thomas woke up instantly and fell out of the car. Watching the vehicle get crushed into pieces by a massive machine, his last memories were destroyed as well. After returning home, his father was worried about him staying out all night. He had waited in the living room the entire night, but when he saw the tears in Thomas's eyes, he swallowed his words of blame and told him to go change his clothes. After that, they went to the grandmother's funeral. Halfway through the ceremony, Haysher suddenly burst in, holding a beer and clearly drunk. He stood in front of the father and son, criticizing their actions, and accusing them of still being trapped in grief. Then he began telling his own story. When he was very young, he accidentally destroyed a car while messing around, and debris caused severe injuries to his body. When he woke up in the hospital, the doctor told him he had suffered serious damage. The news hit him like a bolt from the blue. He smashed things in the hospital in rage, and was eventually sent to juvenile detention. At that time, he could only think about how he had lost something very important, until one day, he realized he had not lost everything. He came to understand that he still had something left, and that he was still physically whole. So why keep clinging to what was already gone? Just like the two of you. You may have lost a wife, but your son is still here. You may have lost a mother, but your father is still here. Why not cherish what remains and live each day going forward? Your son and your father are what you still have. Do you really have to lose everything before you learn to appreciate it? After saying that, he pushed the grandmother's coffin forward, because he had promised to take her for a walk. Watching him walk away, Thomas's eyes filled with tears, and he and his father ran after him. At that moment, the father and son finally realized they had lost another loved one. The next day, his father shaved his beard and returned to his former clean-cut appearance, but it also brought bad news. Haysher was gone. No one knew where he went. But before leaving, he had dragged back the wreckage of the red car, and written on the roof that Haysher was here.